Good morning, everybody. This is Tucker Miller here again, and like I said, for my next movie review, I'm gonna be reviewing on Incredibles 2. Came out in 2018. So, plot of this movie takes place right after Incredibles 1 left off, and so yeah, the Incredibles has to take down the Underminer from robbing the bank, but they failed to, and they got in trouble for it, and they got arrested, and yeah. But one that night, Mr. Incredible, once again voiced by Craig T. Nelson, Elastigirl, once again voiced by Holly Hunter, and Frozone, once again voiced by Samuel Jackson. They met this guy named Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone met this guy named Winston Dever. He had an idea to make superheroes legal again. And he had Elastigirl to do the job, and yeah. So Elastigirl joins Winston Dever and Evelyn Dever while Mr. Incredible stays home and takes care of the kids, and is up to the Incredibles to make superheroes legal again, and that's basically what the plot is. Now, what do I have to say about Incredibles 2? The sequel that was worth the wait. This movie took so long to get. It took 14 years for this film to come out. You know, The Incredibles 1 came out in 2004, which is the same year I was born. And Incredibles 2 came out in 2018. So, yeah. So this movie took forever to get, and we finally got it. But however, a lot of people really wanted Incredibles 2, but however, there are some people were very disappointed with it, but it's still a good movie. I actually really enjoyed this one, but I'll say this is definitely not as good as Incredibles 1, that's for sure. And yeah. And I actually did saw this film in theaters as well, so yeah, that's another Pixar film I saw in theaters. I saw it in theaters with my brother and my cousin. You know, like I said, same cousin I saw Toy Story 3, Monsters University. Second time I saw Inside Out and The Good Dinosaur. So, yeah. And when I saw it, I was really impressed with it. You know, I really loved the first movie. So, yeah. So I have to see this one. So yeah. And it was a really good movie. I actually did rewatch this film last night, and I think it still aged pretty well. So, yeah. Now, let's talk about some characters, shall we? Okay, Mr. Incredible, once again, great character, and once again voiced by Craig T. Nelson. Elastigirl, another great character, and once again voiced by Holly Hunter. Frozone, he's still a great character, and once again voiced by Samuel Jackson. And Dash, he's still a great character, same with Violet and Jack. And you know, Jack now has powers. We've seen that Jack has powers in this movie, and yeah. And Edna, she's still a funny character. No capes! So yeah. And yeah, Tony, which is Violet's boyfriend, he's a great character. He was a great character, and with Digger, if I'm pronouncing his name right, he's a great character as well, and yeah. And we get to introduce some new characters. Winston Dever, he's a great character, and Evelyn Dever, she was a pretty good villain. Evelyn Dever, which is Winston's sister, but yeah. No, she's, Evelyn Dever is the villain. We found out she was the screensaver, and yeah. And Void, which is one of the new characters, she's a great character, and yeah. So those are some of the characters I can think of the top of my head for this sequel. Now let's talk about some scenes in this movie. Oh, the scene where Jack was chasing the raccoon. That was a great scene, and yeah. What's another scene I could think of the top of my head? I don't know. That's the only scene I could think of in my head, on top of my head right now. But yeah. So yeah, Incredibles 2. Great film. Even though some people were very disappointed with it, but hey, really good movie. Really great sequel. But definitely not as good as the first movie. That is going to be 20 years old this year. And yeah. So yeah, can't go wrong with Incredibles 2. So yeah. And I think that's all I can say about Incredibles 2. So yeah. So anyways, that is it for my movie review on Incredibles. Okay, now let's give out my rating. So I'm gonna give Incredibles 2 a 9 out of 10. I cannot think of any flaws with this movie. So yeah. So anyways, that is it for my movie review on Incredibles 2. And stay tuned for my next movie review, which will be on Toy Story 4. Until then, see you in the next video.